Hey everyone, it's Dan, and today we're going to install this GIVI blade top case on a 2021 BMW F750GS. So this job's about a 1 or 2 out of 5 in terms of difficulty. You will need a couple of tools. You'll need a T30 bit, 5mm bit, along with a 10mm box wrench, ratchet wrench. I also like to use an extension to give me a little bit more leverage. You will also need a Phillips blade screwdriver and something sharp like a hole punch. You'll need this to indent a tiny little bump on the existing mounting plate to make drilling easier. Sharpie is also pretty handy, a hammer, some thread locker, and my favorite power tools. So you will need a drill along with a variety of drill bits. I like starting with the smallest that I have, so that's a 1/16, and then gradually drilling up to enlarge the hole all the way up to a 1/4 inch. So this bike's already equipped with a mounting plate for one of the BMW's Vario cases. I do have the matching saddlebags and I love them, they're great. But all of my other bikes already use the GIVI Monolock cases, and I would like to easily be able to swap between them. Plus I can save myself an extra 800 bucks. Now there's a couple ways we can do this. We can either attach the GIVI mounting plate directly onto this one, or we can remove this black plate and attach it directly to the silver frame. I'm gonna avoid drilling holes into this just in case I change my mind down the road. So we're gonna remove it and then figure out where to drill the mounting holes for the GIVI adapter and then get this thing done. Now, once you have all 6 of these screws out, all you need to do is slide this guy out of the way and it should lift right up. So slide it back, and that's all there is to it. All right, so the way that we'll do this is we will mount this GIVI mount directly onto this flat piece that's part of the motorcycle, remove the plastic plate that comes from it, and then work on, take your time aligning this thing to make sure that it's straight side to side and also front to back. And also make sure that it doesn't interfere with the removal of the seat. Once I have it in place, I'll use a permanent marker to draw exactly where the holes need to be. Okay, so this looks pretty good. I'm going to end up using these 4 holes that I've marked with a dot. These looked like they may be good candidates, but they actually overlap with the pipe that goes around it, so that would not work well. So I'm going to go with these 2 and with these 2. So the Monolock base plate kit already comes with all the mounting hardware that you're probably going to need. Part of the kit will include 4 of these little brackets. Those are there in case you want to use them to loop around an existing frame. In our case, we're not going to need them because we're drilling straight through it. It also includes this adjustable washer, so the way this will fit together is we'll put the mounting screw through this washer. The washer will fit nicely into this little diamond or square shape. It still allows you a little bit of flexibility so that you can make final adjustments. And then it also comes with nylon lock nuts from the other side to make sure that it doesn't vibrate loose over time. So for our installation, we're actually going to drill through this existing plate. Anytime you want to accurately drill through a piece of metal or something that's pretty hard, it's always a good idea to notch it a little bit. So I'm going to use a hole punch, give it a good solid tap with a hammer just to indent it a little bit so that my drill bit doesn't slide all over the place. Now, really the important thing is that I get it right around the center of these diamonds that I've drawn here. My dots aren't perfectly centered, that's fine, I'm going to ignore them. I just wanted to mark to make sure that I know which squares to use. So try to catch the center to the best way that I can. Hold this in place, and then it's really important to try and just give it one solid tap. If you keep pounding at it, it's going to bounce around and probably not be as accurate. So all right, so now that I have the little grooves in place for each of the 4 mounting holes, I'm going to start drilling. I'm going to start small and then gradually use a larger and larger drill bit just to make sure that it doesn't take too long and make sure that I have full control of it start to finish. So I'll start with a 1/16, go up step by step all the way up until a 1/4 inch size. The other thing I want to do is, because the shavings are going to fly all over the place, I'll try to catch whatever I can with just a plastic bag underneath it. And this will make our cleanup a lot easier. But be really careful with these guys. They're very thin. Even the stronger, higher quality bits do tend to break if you bend them too hard. Forgot my glasses. I do like keeping my eyeballs functional, so wear your safety gear. And a moment of truth. Okay, so now that we have the 4 mounting holes drilled in here, I've wiped off at least the top of the mounting plate, free of some of the drilling debris. I'm going to line this up. Remember, screw goes through the washer into here. So the lock nuts that go on the bottom are going to be 10 millimeter. Just because of the clearance here, I'm going to end up using a 10 millimeter box wrench with a little offset thing here just to make it easier. And then I'll end up tightening it from the top using a 5 millimeter hex bit. So let's get this guy started. So for the time being, I'll just hand tighten these, not fully, just enough till I start feeling a little bit of resistance. Then we're going to do the final alignment, and then we'll finally torque them. And now that I'm happy with the overall alignment, I'm gonna tighten each one of these one by one using the same tools. So you want to get them nice and snug, but do not over tighten it. If you tighten it too tightly, especially if the surface isn't perfectly even, it's going to deform the mounting plate, which means that the top case will not always latch in reliably. Ask me why I know that. Okay, so that's not going anywhere. The nice thing is that the included hardware here does have the nylon lock nuts, so you don't have to worry about them vibrating loose. The final step will be to actually put the cover back on. It is not fully symmetrical, so it'll only go in one way, so the GIVI logo is facing backwards, and you have to kind of bend it into shape here. They have little notches that hold it in place. So don't be afraid to flex this thing to make it fit. And then finally, this comes with two little Phillips head screws to latch this in place and make sure it doesn't fly off. I do like to use a little bit of thread lock on these just because I'm paranoid. I don't want this thing falling off. I use my bike a lot of times without the top case, so I don't want to risk it. Now, because these are going directly into plastic, don't over tighten it or it's just going to keep spinning and then you'll get the threads loose and it's not going to be sturdy. So this should be it as far as the installation. Let's do a fit check. All right, so I've got my GIVI blade top case here ready for its first trial. Mounting and dismounting these is super easy. The two latches on the bottom mount directly into these two openings. Then the one in the back will latch onto here. So slide this into the back, gently push down, you hear a solid click, it's not coming loose. To remove it, you push the silver button on the bottom, it'll allow you to lift it up and you're ready to go. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you like it, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thanks so much, and I will see you next time.